Hello, everyone. This is John Galt speaking, here with a video on a Saturday that I have called Scripting Saturdays. So, guys, ladies, gentlemen, how you doing on a fine Saturday? How you doing? How you doing on a fine Saturday? Hold on a minute. I got a cord tangled up here. So, someone sent a contribution to my cause here on YouTube, and they requested something. And so since they made a contribution, I decided I would fulfill their request. So first, let me go to my YouTube page. Let me put chat on my other screen over here. I gotta drop links, guys. If I'm going to get back into this again, you guys have to make contributions to my YouTube page in order to trigger me to make more videos. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put in my PayPal link here. So the guy, the person that made the contribution asked not to be named publicly, nor the amount of the contribution. So I'm not gonna, okay? But I did get one, and I appreciate that very much. And so I'm going to do my utmost best, my utmost bestest to try to fulfill his request. Even though it is I guess my least favorite thing to do in the entire Unreal Engine, I'm going to fulfill his request. So while I'm sitting here for a minute, waiting on some people to join. If they do join, if they don't join, people usually watch these after the fact. I usually don't get a bunch of views anyway. And I don't really care because I don't do this for the views. If I did, I'd be screwed. I actually do this for the contributions. So I have no idea how long this stream will take. I have no idea. I have no idea if we'll get it all in one video or not. But we're going to try. Hello, Mr. Oni. What's happening? Now, normally, just so you guys know, normally I wouldn't do this on a live stream. I would do this in private, okay? Because once you do it on live stream on YouTube, it's there forevermore. And so what happens is, and this is the dilemma that I have constantly ran into in trying to do this kind of stuff, is that, you know, and look, guys, look at me. Galt, you don't have a webcam. I can't look at you. Look at me. Look into my eyes. Okay? I understand that there are people that have no money. I understand that. I really do. How do I know? Because I'm one of them. Okay? I don't make money anymore. The only money that I have for income is what I receive in contributions from my YouTube page by people clicking that link that I put in there, the sales that I make from selling my course on Udemy, which is very few actually, and the proceeds I get from selling on Epic Games YouTube or on Epic Games Marketplace, those 4 templates that I have for sale. So that's the only income I have. Okay. Luckily, I'm not in debt. I own everything that I have. I own my home. I own my vehicle. So I don't have house payments, car payments, and that kind of crap. But I still do have expenses: food, utilities, internet, phone, car insurance. Okay. So I barely make enough every month in order to pay bills. And I find myself in situations quite often where I skip one bill one month, pay a different bill the next month, or pay a different bill that month, and then the next month I pay the one that I skipped the previous month. Okay? Plenty of times. Go get a fucking job like everybody else. No, I'm not. Mainly because I'm not a people person. I hate people. Not all people, but the majority. And I wouldn't say hate's a strong word. I wouldn't say hate. I like to be alone. I'm 47 years old, and I have been there, done that, and got the mental scars from all that stuff. And so I stay to myself anymore, and I make a little, actually I used to do pretty good before I kind of had I don't know what you would call it. About a year ago, some of you guys may remember me mentioning that I had an episode. Okay. And honestly, I still don't know what the hell happened to me, other than to say that something did. And so I keep to myself. And I understand people don't have money. And I understand that probably 90% of the YouTube pages that you guys watch, or whatever media it is that you watch, you have people constantly, what they call it is e-begging, right? Oh God, here's an e-beggar. They give you 5 minutes of content, and the other 25 minutes of their 30-minute show is nothing but begging for money, or begging people to follow them, or begging people to share, like the video, etc., etc., etc. You guys know the drill. And I watch those too, and I get just as annoyed as you guys do. Okay? So I understand people have no money. I understand that people are sick of people, e-begging, if that's what you want to call it. I get it. I really do get it. However, that still doesn't change the fact that this is my only source of income. Okay? And regardless of what you all may think, I have spent endless hours from 2014 till now learning, testing, prototyping, trial and erroring, until I'm sick of it, right? And that's one of the reasons why I kind of quit doing this for a year. And now I'm doing it again, even though I said I'm not, and I'm not. It all depends on you guys. However many of you guys are here. 1 person, 2 people, 5 people. Whether you're here live or not makes no difference. If you watch the video after the fact and you feel the urge, you should go ahead and send a contribution, right? Because I never schedule these videos. I can't schedule them because it depends on you guys. If I don't get any contributions, I'm not going to sit here and waste endless hours making videos. I've got better shit to do. I'd rather sit out on my porch and watch the squirrels bounce around in the front yard. Okay? I really would. Or I'd go watch a video and listen to somebody else whine and e-beg for an hour or whatever it is. Okay? So just know that. And so what I said earlier about normally I wouldn't do this on a live stream. I would do it in private and then just give the person that made the contribution a link to the private video, is because it reduces the potential of contributions, right? If everything on my YouTube page is free all the time, then nobody has a reason to even contemplate making a contribution to this cause here, whatever this cause is. But I'm going to make an exception in this case because the person that made the contribution has been a long-time follower, and he made a fairly significant contribution, right? Usually I ask for $2 or $5 or something like that. So he definitely outdid that. And he asked if I would do it on a live stream. Do it live. He likes it when I do it live. I don't know why, but he does. And so I told him, okay, well, I appreciate your contribution so much that I shall do that just for you. Okay. And on top of that, it is the least favorite subject that I have in this engine. And so it's going to be a nightmare. It's going to be a disaster, and it's going to suck, but we're going to bang it out one way or the other. And you guys guess what it is yet, right? Like, I don't have it listed anywhere what the topic is. The only hint that I will give you guys for this very moment is it's got to do with multiplayer. Of course it does, because it always does, right? Son of a bitch. And even though it is multiplayer, I love multiplayer, right? That's what I'm good at. Or I feel that I'm good at. So it ain't because it's multiplayer. It's because, okay, you guys ready? You ready for this? You ready for the big reveal? It is enabling Steam and a menu system. Okay? And you guys know that I loathe UI in this engine. And so, what he wishes to achieve is to get Steam up and operational with a menu system. And luckily, I've already done this, and all my projects already have this. So I'm going to be using that as a reference, just so you guys know, because there's no way on God's green earth that you can remember all that stuff. So on my right-hand screen, I have, well, I could just bring it over here to show you guys. Hold on. Right. So I have my multiplayer FPS basic open project that's on the UE4 marketplace for sale for $19.99. And we're not rebuilding this, but we're going to try to recreate the little menu system. Okay. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate to you guys what this kind of is and what we're aiming for here. So bear with me here. And this might take a couple videos, right? So I don't know. It depends on when I try to recreate what I've already created, or if I make any modifications. If shit blows up and goes sideways and don't work, it might take more than one. You guys know how it is. Okay. So what we're aiming to do is recreate what you guys see right here. So this little menu, and you click this button and it brings up a different menu, and you click this button and it brings up a different menu. And then this menu, you get to pick between a couple maps, and you get to pick between a number of players, and you get to pick a match timer, and then you hit the host game button. And then we're not doing the team stuff, right? So this is, at this point, this will dump you, probably dump you into the game at this point. But in this instance here, we have to pick a team, and then it dumps you into the game. So we're going to be skipping that one screen. And then the other parts of the menu is this, right? So you can find this game. It brings this server list thing up, and you hit this button and it does this search-a-majig here, and then it will bring up the server that's hosted here, and then you can click it up and join it, and then at that point it would dump you in. to the game, but in this case, we have to pick a team. And then you'll both be sitting here, in here, staring at each other, right? With that 1,000-meter stare. No character, right? No character. I don't think. I don't know. Hell, we might just dump a junky character in here, but we're definitely not like building shooter mechanics and all that stuff. Okay? And then you'll have a menu in the game that you can bring up. And it will be missing this stuff up here, of course, but it will have resume, main menu, and quit game. Okay? So go back to the main menu, you can quit the game and all that stuff. Okay? So that's the plan. And that'll probably only take, 72 hours. Hell, I don't know. There's no telling how long it'll take. I'm sure it'll be a hot minute. Especially with explanations and not just, hey, click this button, 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 click this button. I never do that. That defeats the whole purpose of trying to show people how to do stuff. All you're showing them is how to click buttons, right? You don't want that. Okay. You guys ready to start? How many people's here? Raise your hand if you're here. Oh, we're out on the town on Saturday. We're not watching your crappy videos. And quit e-bagging. Jesus Christ. Okay. So, here we go, guys. Oh, and by the way, we're doing this in engine version 4.15.3. That does not mean that what we're doing will not work in the newer engine versions. It simply means that 4.15.3 is my engine version of choice. See previous videos for why. But basically shit went sideways from 4.16 forward and they started changing a bunch of crap, introducing latency and whatever else the hell you can think of when it comes to multiplayer. And so they suck, in my opinion. So I use 4.15.3. So feel free to download that version and follow along, or try to follow along in the most current engine version. There'll probably be some subtle differences, etc., but the general gist of it should still be the same. Okay. Okay. Well, hello, Mr. Lamb. That's good news. Very good news. I do have chat open, guys, so I will be looking at it, but I'm going to try to bash this out as much as I can. So don't feel like I'm ignoring you guys, because I'm not, but I appreciate that. So let's get crack-a-lacking here, and we'll see what we can get. We'll see how far we can get. So we're going to go and create a blank project, right? Start from the FPS project. Start from the third person. I always start from a completely blank project. Okay? Always. Most of the time. And we're going to call this UE4 Steam. Maybe it needs to say multiplayer, right? Because that's what this is for. So we're going to do MP Steam. How about that? Okay, and we're going to create the project, and it's going to do whatever the hell it is that it does. I hear grinding noises. It's blowing the cobwebs out of my computer. I ain't done this stuff in so long. And here we have it. I'll try to be as thorough and as explanatory as possible, and we'll get started here. So the very first thing is that we're going to make a folder here. And we're going to name it exactly what we named this project, which is MP theme. Okay. And inside that project, we're going to make another folder called maps. Like that. And then we're going to make yet another folder called, we'll just call it Blueprints for now. And we're going to make a little map here. We're going to delete this panel out of here. We're going to delete this player start out of here. And we're going to hit this button here. And we're going to create a default terrain. And we're going to go back to here. We're going to add a skylight. So underneath your lights here, we're going to drag in a skylight. And we're going to bring this up. So there'll be a little bit of a setup process here. So just bear with me, guys. Move this crap around a little bit. Get it up here out of the way. Fucking OCD. I can't stand this stuff. Okay. So we have that. We have that. We're going to bring in back under basic here. No, actually under volumes. We're going to bring in a light mass importance volume. Drop it about right in the center. We're going to manually set some values in here. So under the details panel, we're going to set this to, let's just go, what, 5,000? By 5,000. By 1,500. Then we're going to kind of do this. Poke it just barely down into the ground. Then we're going to add another volume in here, which is a light mass character indirect detail volume. We're going to make this 100 units shorter than the other one. So that would be 4,900 by 4,900 by 1,400. And basically the same thing. You poke it down just a little bit. And so essentially what you got here is a box inside of a box. Okay. And then we're going to bring in, under basic, we're going to bring in 2 player starts. We're going to put one here. Good enough. And let's rotate it so that it's facing this way, 90 degrees. Hold down your Alt key and we're going to bring another one. And we're going to put it over here on this side. And we're going to rotate it so that it's facing the other one. Just like this. I think I might need to move that back some. My OCD, man, I'm telling you, this is going to take three years to get this made because of that, just so you guys know. Okay. We're going to make another new folder in here. And we're going to call this Static Meshes. And we're going to bring a cube in, but we're not going to use this cube. We're going to bring this cube in. Then we're going to come over here with it highlighted, right click, and we're going to say find in content browser. Okay. And then it brings this engine content up, and we're going to drag a copy of this cube into the static meshes. And we're going to say copy here, not move, copy here, just like that. Then we're going to turn back off that folder because holy crap, we're not C++ for sure. So we're going to uncheck this. Then we're going to delete that cube we drug in there. And we're going to drag this one in instead. We're going to rename this to SM_cube. Like that. We're going to make another new folder called materials. Like that. And inside there, we're going to make a new material. And we're going to call it M_default. We're going to open this. We're going to hold down the V key and left click to create a vector parameter. We're going to plug that up. We're going to name this color. Leave it black. Apply that. Then we're going to go into the static meshes folder, open this cube, and we're going to set the material to the default material and save it. And we're going to do a bit of resizing on this bad boy. So I'm hitting the spacebar key to get the resize tool here. Make it about that thick, about that long, and about that tall. And we can pull this up out of the ground a little bit, like so. And let's go ahead and do a quick save all here in case this shit blows up, because doesn't it always? Doesn't it always? And under the maps folder is where we're going to save this. And we're going to call this MP_test map_001. Just like that. Okay, and then we're going to let's do a search up here for a text renderer, and we'll drag this thing in. Let's rotate this. Bring this thing up here. And over here with it selected, we're going to dick with some parameters here. So we're going to call this MP_test map_001. And we're going to set the horizontal alignment to center. And we're going to change the color to red. So 1 tab, 0 tab, 0 tab. And let's pump up the volume a little bit. So let's set the world scale to, I don't know, is 50 big enough? Yeah, maybe something like 50. And then we're going to back that thing up so it's closer to the wall, like so. Then we're going to drag it down a little, hold down the Alt key, drag it up, and we're going to change the text here to MP space Steam. That's the name of the project. And this is officially test map 1. Now we're going to go do a couple other little things. So we're going to go into settings here. Under the project settings, under rendering, we're going to come down to the section here to turn some bullshit off. So essentially, we're going to turn off this auto exposure garbage. And, I mean, we can leave motion blur on. It's up to you guys, right? Do you want motion blur? Yes or no? Do you want bloom? Yes or no? But the main one's to turn that auto exposure shit off. And then we're going to save everything. And we're going to hit this build button here. So this will build all the lighting and all that crap. Oh, I'm thirsting to death. Okay. Then we're going to save all. And voila. Done. That's it. Ship it. It was only that damn quick and that damn easy. Okay. All right. So the very next thing that we need to do, and this is for Steam, right? He specifically requested for Steam. So before we even go any further, we're going to do something here. We're going to go up here to edit, and we're going to go into the plugins. And under the online platform section here, we are going to enable. Wow, is it already enabled? Let's just type Steam here. Yeah, here we go. So type Steam in your search bar with the online platform selected and enable this plugin right here. And then it's going to tell you to restart, and this might crash, but we'll try it anyway. Voila. But we ain't done yet, unfortunately. So that enables the default Steam plugin that comes in Unreal Engine 4. Let's go back to our map. Let's do a couple other things. I mean, I suppose we could just wait. Yeah, let's just wait, because we'll be back in there if I don't. So enable the Steam plugin. We got our little map, and this is going to be the map that it dumps us into after we travel through all the menu bullshit we're going to try to make. Okay? And we'll be standing here in a standoff. Let me bring Chad over here. So, Mr. Lamb, there is no end goal with this. This is to put in what they call the front end of a multiplayer Steam game. So essentially what it's going to be is all the stuff necessary, menu-wise, scripting-wise, to get it to host a Steam session, make that session findable and searchable, and dump you out as no player into this map. And then from that point on, you can make it whatever kind of multiplayer game you want it to be. You create a character, you can make it a shooter character, first person character, third person character, hack and slasher character, rabbit, squirrel, whatever. It's really just to build the front end to get you a Steam session hosted. Okay? And searchable and findable. Okay. All right. So the next thing that we need to do is there's some stuff we need to put into the INI file. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. Let's just hit a save all here to make sure we don't dump anything out. And we're going to close this project completely. Don't crash. Please, I'll be your friend. I'll be your friend. Don't crash. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to do a search. So I'm going to open up a new window here. And I'm not going to use DuckDuckGo for this. So I'm going to go to Google. And I'm going to type in for my search string, UE4 Steam. And that's it. And this first thing that comes up here is the docs from Unreal Engine. So I'm going to go ahead and click this one. And there's a bunch of information about using the Steam API. But we really just need one thing specifically. So I'm going to scroll down through here. And there is a section somewhere where it says finished. Finished settings. See it here? You can click it here, or you can just keep scrolling until you find it. Right here. Finished settings. And it tells you right here where you got to put it, which is the default engine.ini. So I'm going to copy every bit of this right here. Hit Control-C to copy this. And then we're going to go into where your project directory is. So we're going to open up My Documents, Unreal Projects, and this is called MP Steam. That's what we called it. Under the config folder, there is the default engine.ini. So I'm going to open this, and I'm going to scroll down here to the end of this. I'm going to hit the space bar twice, or enter twice, I'm sorry. Hit enter twice, then we're going to hit Control V, and we just pasted in that stuff we copied. Then we're going to hit File, and we're going to hit Save. Not Save As, just simply Save. And that saves it in place. And now you can open this back up again, and it should have kept all that stuff that you put in here. Okay? Okay. So now we can close all that stuff down, and we can officially go back into the project here. So let's go ahead and open this. Okay, how about now? And you see how it keeps opening this map? We're going to go ahead and correct that right now. Actually, no. We're not going to correct that right now. What we're actually going to do is it didn't hold my blueprints folder for some reason. So we're going to go ahead and make a new folder here called blueprints. Stupid piece of crap. And in the blueprints, we're going to right click. We're going to create a new blueprints class. And under all classes here, we're going to do a search for game instance. And we want this game instance here. We're going to select that, and we're going to call this GI for game instance underscore MP Steam. Just name it what we named it, name the entire project. Okay. Then we're going to save it. Now we're going to go change a couple things. So underneath the settings drop down here, we're going to go into project settings. Under maps and modes. Actually, no. Wait. We're going to do one more goddamn thing, which is in the maps folder here. We're going to right click, and we're going to create a new level. And we're simply going to call this main menu. And let's open that and make sure it's blank. Right? So yes, save. Yep, save selected. Yep. So that's exactly what we want. A completely blank map called main menu. Now we're going to go make some changes. Sorry, guys. It's been a while since I did this shit. So back into the project settings. Under maps and modes. We're going to make sure that we set our game instance to that one we just created, which ain't got shit in it. GI underscore MP Steam. And we're going to set the default map here to that main menu that we created. And the editor startup map, we're going to just set that to be, well, main menu, right? Let's go ahead and put them both as the main menu. And we will save everything. My phone just went off here, so give me a second. Let's see what this is. Make sure it ain't something important. Nope. Spam. How these fuckers even get my phone number is baffling to me. Bad enough you have to deal with spam in your damn snail mail. All these stupid flyers and ads and shit they send you. Then you get them in your email. Flyers and, hey, you won $1 million. Only send me $39.95 to claim your prize. And now I get them on my damn text on my phone. And I get goddamn phone calls trying to extend my car warranty on a 2002 vehicle. There is no warranty. Morons. You know how to solve global warming if global warming is real? Get rid of the junk mail that comes in the snail mail and get rid of the crank erroneous phone calls, the crank erroneous texts, and the junk mail in your email. That would solve it. That'd solve the whole thing. I'd like to get an estimate on how much paper is wasted every year just from sending out fucking junk mail in the snail mail, plus all the gas that's used to deliver it. See there? I could solve it. You better be glad I ain't in charge of this bitch. There'd be a few changes around here. Okay. All right. So, guys, ladies, gentlemen, what we're going to do is start the main menu. So all that stuff that we just did, we are up to the point now where we can start assembling a main menu, right? Because when this comes up, there's nothing, right? It's absolutely nothing. Okay. So I put the majority of my menu system in the game instance, and that's why we created this blueprint here called GI_MP Steam. Okay. So we're going to open this and we're going to get crack-a-lacking. So we're going to create a custom event. So we're going to right click and type custom event. Actually, before we do that, we need a widget, right? Because we don't even have that yet. So in this, you know, maybe we should, I don't know, should we keep it all contained in this blueprints folder? Or should we just make a new folder called widgets? And in here, let's just put a new folder in here called main. Oh, come on now. Main menu. There. Because there'll be more widgets other than just this, whoever carries this project out further. And in here, we're going to create a user interface and we're going to call it a widget blueprint. And we're going to call it BPW underscore main menu. And we're going to open this thing. And we're going to just basically assemble some crap. Okay. And once again, guys, I just want to be perfectly clear here. UI and menus and shit is my least proficient area of this engine by far. So don't expect any kind of miracles in this. Functional. That's what we're going for. You guys that follow this, you guys can go above and beyond your way to, you know, fancy this bitch out, however you want to fancy it out. Okay. So we're going to bring in a text. And we're going to call in the text block main menu. Like that. And maybe we'll pump the size up a little bit. So it's 24. So what? Double it? 48. Yep, that'll work. And then we're going to, isn't there a way to center this damn text? Yeah. So right here under justification, we're going to center it like that. Then we're going to bring in a button. And I'm not going to scale this button just yet. And we're going to put a text on top of the button. So drop it on there. And we're going to call this single player. And then we're going to bring in, well, actually, we could just dupe this, right? So if we take this button here and where's the duplicate? Copy. Select over here, right click, paste. Is that how that goes? There we go. Beautiful. No, stay on there. And let's just paste another one. What the hell? Well, where the hell did they go? All right, we're going to Control Z. Well, let's just copy this first button again. Son of a bitch. Is it really going to be this bad already? Right click, paste. Okay, that'll work. And now what we're going to do is we're going to select the text and all the buttons, right click, right with a vertical box. Well, we did something here. And then we're going to scale this vertical box, something like that. And we'll anchor this to the left center like that. And now we can start modifying this stuff and naming this stuff, right? So guys, you better name this shit. Otherwise you're going to regret it. Believe me, you're going to regret it. So the text here, we're going to rename this to main menu underscore txt. We're going to call this button here single player underscore btn. And then under that, we're going to name this text single player underscore txt. And this button here is going to be multiplayer. Oh, let's just use all lowercase. Multiplayer underscore btn. And then we're going to select the text and rename the text to multiplayer underscore txt. And let's actually change that here. The text, this needs to be multiplayer, right? And then we're going to name this button quit game underscore btn. And this is going to be quit game underscore txt. And then we'll change the text over here to quit game. Let's put a space in. Okay, done. That's it. Ship it. All right, so we'll definitely be coming back to this, but for right now, we're just going to let it ride just like that. Okay? Okay. All right, let's do a save all here. Let me bring no, I'm not good at widgets. Okay? I'm not. So pray for me. I really need it, honestly. Okay, so now we're actually going to go into the game instance. Okay? I know I said that earlier, but I mean it this time. We're going to go into the game instance, open full blueprint editor, and we're going to right click, and now we're going to create that damn custom event. And we're going to call this show main menu. Just like that. And we're going to get player controller. And then we're going to pull out of that and we're going to type create widget. And we're going to promote this to a variable. And we're going to call this variable main menu ref, just like that. And then we're going to take that reference here, get it, and we're going to pull out of it and say add to viewport, like so. And then from this get player controller here, we're going to say set input mode, and this is going to be to UI only. And the widget to focus is going to be this widget. And then we're going to pull out of that get player controller one more time, and we're going to type show mouse, set show mouse cursor. And this is going to be set to true. And we're going to put this at the end here. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to put right here, we're going to put an is valid. And we're going to use this little macro here called is valid. And we're going to plug this up here. And we're going to be checking this main menu ref. And I'll give a little bit of an explanation when we get done here. We're going to be checking this main menu ref right here. And if this is not valid, we're going to do this construct widget and all this stuff. So let's move this down a little bit. And if it is valid, we're just going to add this to the viewport and do that last bit. So let's bring this over here, and let's bring this up so we don't have to do reroute nodes. And once again, I'll give you guys a little explanation of what's going on here as soon as I get this lined up a little. All right, let's compile that and save it. And the widget we need to plug in here is that main menu widget we just created. So now let's compile it and save it. Okay, so the reason that I do this way right here so far as an explanation is if it's already created the main menu widget, it doesn't need to recreate it again. Okay. So what it's doing is it's checking to see if the main menu is valid, meaning is it already created? Is it populated? Because we're putting it in a variable right here. If it's not, which it won't be, it's going to create it and put it in a widget and then put it to the viewport. Then we're setting the input mode to UI only. That's all you need for this because that's all it is UI. And we're setting it to show the mouse cursor so that you can click the buttons. Okay. And so that's what the explanation for that is. Now, as far as these custom events in here, you know, you guys know you can set this stuff replicated, not replicated, etc., etc. None of this stuff in here has to be changed to any of that. Okay, so none of these custom events that we create for now are going to need to be replicated in any way, shape, or form. Because we don't need that yet. Okay, now there might be some instances in here where we do that, but these don't need to be for this. Okay, so now that we've got this part done, we need to call this here from the main menu level in order to get it to open. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. We're going to go into maps, into the main menu map. Let's make sure we have that open. Okay. And we're going to go up here and hit this drop down by blueprints, and we're going to go into open level blueprint. Let's delete the event tick, and we're going to right click and say get game instance, like this. We're going to cast to that custom game instance that we created called GIMP Steam. And from that game instance, we're going to call that custom event we just created called show main menu, like this. And now when this map loads, it should put that little menu that we created. Let's save everything. It should put that little menu up when we hit go. So if I hit go, voila, there it is. And now you've got your mouse cursor, and you do have the ability to click these buttons. However, they don't do a goddamn thing yet. Okay. And these buttons and stuff are kind of tiny. So we might go in here and dick with this just for a minute. But guys, I don't want to get bogged down into the cosmetics of this stuff. So I think maybe we'll take this main menu text, right click, wrap with a horizontal box like that. And let's just set that to centered. It didn't change a single damn thing. So maybe we could set these to fill. Yeah, make them a bit bigger. But that right there, I would like to center that. And I don't know. Maybe it's in the horizontal box. Is that what it is? Yeah. Okay. So with the horizontal box selected, you can center that. And now that should make those buttons a little bit bigger. And also, these buttons here are too gray for my taste. So I'm going to take these buttons here, hold down Control and select them all. And let's see if we can't make that a little bit darker or something. Like, is there a color and opacity or background color? Maybe the background color. Let's make that a little darker shade of gray. Maybe something like that. Hit OK. And let's select all the textuses. And maybe we'll make those a little bit bigger too. I mean, they need to be centered, I would imagine. And let's change that size to, I don't know, maybe 30. File and save. Close that. And let's hit play again, see if that's a little bit better. Okay. Fucking UI. Isn't it always? Okay. Let's do all the save things. Let me bring chat up over here, see if you guys are into anything. All right. Okay, so we got that part. Now we get to make these buttons do stuff. Okay. So we're going to open up this main menu widget here, and we're going to select the single player button, and we're going to hit down, scroll down here, and we're going to say on clicked. And for now, that button ain't going to do crap. Okay, so let's select multiplayer button, and we're going to hit this here for on clicked. Then we're going to hit quit game button, and we're going to say on clicked. And for right now, the only thing we're going to do is get owning player. Let's use this top one, right? There's only two in here. Let's use this top one here called target is widget. And then we're going to pull out of that and type quit game. And we're going to use this function here for quit game. That's not supposed to be there. Let's unhook that, delete it, and let's just right click and type quit game. Yeah, I don't know why it added that context thing. The specific player is this guy. And we'll plug this up here. And compile that and save it. Okay. And now we're going to go back into the game instance. And we're going to create some... we can delete this event tick out of here. Let's bring this event construct down. Let's get a reference to our game instance here. Remember, I keep all my main menu stuff in the game instance. So we're going to be going into the game instance and creating what these buttons actually do when you mash them. Okay. So on event construct, which is very similar to event begin play, but essentially it means when this widget builds, run this code. And what we're going to put is get game instance, and we're going to cast to that custom game instance that we created called GIMP Steam. We're going to promote this to a variable. And we will call this new variable GIMP Steam ref. So that'll be a reference to our game instance. Okay. 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 So let's go to the game instance now. So back into our blueprints here, into the game instance. And we're going to right click and create a custom event. Add custom event. And we're going to call this start single player. Like so. We're going to create a Boolean variable in here called is single player with a question mark. And when we mash this button, we're going to set this to be true. And then we're going to right click and say open level. And the level that we're going to open, let's create a duplicate map before we put in a map level here. Actually, you know what? We should probably, well, okay. So we named that one MP test map 01. So let's just take that map and duplicate it here. And we will call this one SP for single player. And this will be single player map 001. Let's save that. And let's go in here and make a slight mod. Save selected. Let's make a slight mod to this. Let's change the text into this to SP test map 01. And let's actually change the color of that to something like green. That way we'll know the difference between the single map and the multiplayer map. So save all this. Let's go ahead and build the lighting so it'll create that light map build data or whatever the hell this little file is that it creates. Okay. And save all the things. And now let's go back. Before we go back, let's copy this name so that we don't make a freaking typo, because we all know how good I am at typos and sit there and cuss for an hour trying to figure out why something won't work. And it's because my dyslexia kicked in and I reversed 2 letters. So let's go back into the blueprints into the game instance, and we'll paste in that name here for now. That'll be the map that it opens. And then we're going to get player multiplayer controller. And we're going to pull out of that and say set input mode to game only. And then we're going to pull out of that again and say set show mouse cursor. And that's going to go to false. We will compile that and save it. And let's go ahead and put a comment box around this and call this start single. Let's put a space here. Start single player. And then we'll go ahead and comment this. And we will call this show main menu called from main menu map level blueprint. That way you'll always know where that's called from. You'd be surprised that I forget. See, I never put anything in the level blueprint except for that. That's the only damn thing I put in the level blueprint on any level. Okay, is that. That's it. Okay, so now we should be able to do a little bit of a test, right? So let's go back into the maps. Let's open up that main menu, hit the play button, and if we hit quit game, it quits game. Hit play. Multiplayer still don't do a damn thing. And then if we hit single player, we didn't call it yet, right? So that we had to create the logic in the game instance first, right? Remember, we just created that. Now we got to go back into that main menu widget and actually call it from that reference we created, right? So back in the graph, this reference we created, we can get that reference now and we can call, don't have to cast or anything because we already stored it up there. We can call start single player like that. Yeah, we can do just that. And I don't know, should we comment these? I don't know. Are we cosmetically sound? I don't know. Now let's try that shit again. So single player, and voila, it spawned us in as the default pawn, by the way, which I believe is a little round ball. If I hit Shift F1, how do you eject? Is that how you eject? How do you eject? Oh, well, Shift F1 or Shift Alt Tab. I see the eject button up there. What is it? F1 to show mouse cursor? Why, hell no. Well, whatever. There should be a shortcut for eject. I don't fucking remember what it is. Any of you guys remember what it is? Because I don't remember. Shift F1 for mouse cursor. There it is. And then we can eject that way. There. So that's what the default pawn is, by the way. It's a ball. That's it. And we are on the test map. Single player test map. So that's good. Hey, that's it. We're done. Ship it. Once again, guys, I don't know exactly how far we will get. But we will see what we can do. This stuff usually takes me a while because I ain't worth a damn at it. Okay. Let's see here. I'm looking at my reference to see where we need to go next. I think we need to create another damn widget, unfortunately, which would be the server settings widget. Yeah, I think so. Okay. Actually, we need to create the multiplayer menu. So I believe we can start from what we already have here in this main menu. So let's duplicate this widget. No, not delete. Jesus Christ, don't do that. That's fucking 3 hours of work. Duplicate that, and we'll call this one BPW for blueprint widget. And we will call this multiplayer menu. And let's go ahead and open this up, and we'll just basically start from here. Okay. So the text in this horizontal box here is actually going to be called multiplayer menu. And we're going to have to make this box bigger. So let's select the vertical box, and let's just scrub this out this way. We'll bring this down. Once again, guys, I ain't worth a freaking piss at this. I really ain't. Okay, and that needs to be changed to multiplayer txt, multiplayer menu. And we need to change the text here to host game. Oh shit, no. Control Z that shit. It's the button I'm supposed to be dicking with here. Sorry. So this will be host game button, and that's the text we need to change. So that'll be host game txt. And we need to change that here. Host game. Okay, and then this next button here is going to be find games. And that button's text will need changed to find games txt. Isn't this fun? This is just so much fun. Anybody who loves doing UI, they've got mental problems. And we'll change that text here to find games. This next button, let's change this to be a back button. And then we'll put the text to back button txt. Just back txt will do. And then we'll change this to back. And then we need another button. Okay. So let's just collapse all these buttons. Take the host game button, copy that, and then go to the vertical box, right click on the vertical box and hit paste. And we will change this right here to the quit game underscore BTN. And that text block will be quit game underscore TXT. And we will change the text in that to quit game. Like that. Jesus Christ, boy, isn't that fun? Let's take a breather here. Let me get me a drink. Okay. So there ain't much we can do here just yet. So let's go into the graph. And that event construct, that's going to be right. We need to get rid of this. Remember, we duplicated this. Quit game, add on clicked, and we just need to move this down here. Quit game. And now we get to get all the rest of these buttons working. But before we do that, we need to be able to get from the main menu to this one, right? Because this will be the very next menu that comes up after the main, or after you click host game. Okay. So, let me just look at my reference over here for a second. So hold on. Okay. The back button, we can get this, the back button here. No, we don't need that. We need the reference to the game instance that we got a copy of in here. And from that, we need to show main menu. When you click the back button, you want to show the main menu. So in other words, you're going back to the main menu. And then we do remove from parent. See that function? And we put that at the end of it. So that should get the quit game button working, and that should get the back button working. Okay. So let's jump back into the main menu here. And this is where we need to create we need to show the multiplayer menu. Okay, so we're going to have to go back into the game instance. Okay, so let's go back into the game instance here. And we're going to create another custom event, which is going to be basically the same kind of thing as we have here. Right? So why don't we do this? Why don't we copy all this? Select it all and hit Control W. And let's bring this down here. And let's rename this custom event to show multiplayer menu. Show multiplayer menu. Okay, like that. And we need to delete the main menu ref because this is going to be a different reference. Because the widget we're going to be creating here is the multiplayer menu, right? So we need to rename this variable here to multiplayer menu ref. And I spelled that wrong too. It's got an E. So we'll have to fix that. But this is going to be multiplayer multiplayer menu ref. Oh shit. I need to do, nope. Let's hit Control Z and see if we can get back. I screwed this up here. So hit Control Z. So that's back to the main menu ref. Okay, now we are going to take that E off of here, but you guys seen what I just did there. I was just fixing to screw the whole thing up. We need to delete those references, re-promote this to a new variable, and this one is going to be called multiplayer menu ref. There. Well, I just about screwed the whole works up. So bring in that reference. Get it. We're going to check the validity of this one. Plug this back up. That's going to be this multiplayer menu ref. And that's going to be the target to add. And that's going to be the widget to focus. And we don't need to change this here because we already set it to be UI only. So we can get rid of that part. Now let's compile that and save it. So essentially it's exactly the same as this, but once we get into the main menu here, we're already setting to UI only and show mouse cursor. So there ain't no reason to redo that. It won't change from this status until we actually get out of here and spawn into the level. Okay. So for now, I believe that'll do it. Okay. So let's go do a quick test here and see how broke this is. So from the main menu, we hit this. What buttons have we got working? So when we go into single player, we're in here and we're mobile as the default sphere pawn. Okay. And if we hit quit game, it quits like it should. And if we hit multiplayer, it should bring up that menu we just created. And it didn't because we're not calling it yet. See, I do this every damn time. Son of a bitch. We need to go into the main menu and we need to make it show that. Okay? Because of course we do. So we get the reference, our game instance reference here, and we show multiplayer menu, and then we remove from parent. Pile that and save it. Now that should work theoretically. All right, we checked all these other buttons. So main multiplayer menu, and now host game, we haven't done anything yet. Find games, we haven't done anything yet. If we hit back, it should back up to the main menu, and it did. And if we hit quit game from this menu, it should just quit, and it did. Okay, so we're getting there slowly but surely. Okay, so now in the multiplayer menu, we have got to, well, host game and find games. That's the next part of this equation here that we have to do. Which we're going to have to put in yet another widget. Okay, and it's going to be the server settings. Okay, so let me look at my reference here. Son of a bitch. Yep. Oh, yep. 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 Another widget. So I'm going to go ahead and close all these down, and let's just do a save all here. So we get to create a new widget. Okay, so under user interface, we're going to create a widget blueprint. And this is going to be called BPW _ server settings. And we're going to open this up, and glory, glory, hallelujah, we get to do another one. I'm just going to try to throw something together here. So once again, don't give me shit over this. I know I suck at widgets. Okay. So we're going to bring in a text, and we're going to put in this text server settings, and I guess we will center that, and let's make the text 48. We'll try to center this up some and fancy this up a little bit, but for now, let's just get something in here. Okay, we're going to bring in another text. And in this text, we're going to call this select map. And then we're going to bring in a combo box. You guys ready for this? You guys ever seen a combo box? You know what the hell that does? I don't even remember how to find it. So what is it? Combo box. We're going to bring one of them in and stick it right here at the end of this. And let's see, what all do we need here? We need to be able to select what map. We need the max players. I guess we'll go ahead and try to recreate that little match timer. Okay, so we need to take these two, select them both, copy, select the canvas panel, right click and hit paste. And then we're going to select both of them, drag that shit down here. Now, how the hell did that get reversed? That shouldn't have reversed. Move that back up over here. Wait, what? Okay, well, fuck me. That didn't work. Let's delete that. Why the hell didn't that work? Well, whatever. Let's just do it this way, right? So we'll bring in another combo box, set it here. Actually, let's go ahead and get the other one. Combo box. We're going to need 3 of these. This will be pretty neat when you guys see how we populate this combo box. It took me a long time to figure out how to do what I was trying to do, so I'll show you guys that. It'll be pretty cool. And now we need 2 more texts. So we'll put 1 text here. And in this will be max players. And we need another text here. And this will be match time. Like that. Okay. And so we're going to select map and this text box, right click, and we're going to say wrap with And this is going to be a horizontal box. And for whatever reason, it didn't put the damn text in there. So drag that down and drop it on the horizontal box. And then take the horizontal box and we're going to scale it. And then once again, it fucking moved that. That is absolutely not what I was trying to do. How do we, okay, so select the text and hit this left arrow. And now it puts it back. Okay, so that's what I was trying to do earlier. Whatever. This stuff annoys the shit out of me. If there's one thing I hate about this engine, it's goddamn this. Okay. All right. So we're going to select max players and that box, combo box, right click, wrap with, and this is going to be another horizontal box. And it never puts the text in there. Why the fucking fuck does it never put the text in there? Drag it up there and let it go. And then it's going to do that bullshit. So select the text. Go that way. Select the box. And let's scale this. About the same size as that one. Roughly. And then, you know, we're going to fuck this all up again. Select the text and the box. See, I got them both selected, but why when oh, I see, said the blind man. Select it over here in the left box. Right click here and say wrap with, horizontal box. And it fucking did it again. Whatever. Unreal, you can go to hell with this UI, okay? You can go straight to the deepest pits of hell and rot and die there for this. Okay? All right. Sorry, guys. I ain't even nowhere near done with this, and I'm already loopy and aggravated. Okay. Now we need 2 buttons. Okay, so we're going to bring in a button and we're going to put it here. We're going to put a text on that button. We're going to bring in another button and put it here. And we're going to put a text on that button. Like that. Okay. This is going to get freaky here in a minute, so just bear with me, guys. So this button here, we're going to have to name some shit. So this is going to be the back _ Pt1. And this is going to be the back txt. And we're going to make that say back. This is going to be the host game button. Btn, and this is going to be the host game text. And it's going to say host game. You guys ready to name all this shit now? So let's just start here. So that is server settings _txt. That is select map txt. That is select map combo box. Let's just put CMB _CMB for combo box. That is max players txt, which that'll make this. Oh wow, it didn't do it. Son of a bitch. Max players underscore txt, which will make this max players CMB for combo box. That'll be match time txt, and that'll be match time CMB back button, and this will be back txt. Oh shit, I need to put an underscore into that. Guys, your naming convention actually matters, because sometimes you have to disable these buttons, and sometimes you might want to change the colors of them. And if you don't remember what you goddamn named them, you guys can see how that's problematic, right? Host game BTN, and that's host game TXT. Okay. So we are going to take the back button and then hold down control and select the host game button, right click, and we're going to wrap with horizontal box, and then select the horizontal box, and you can kind of scale this out some. These probably need to be filled, right? So if we take the back button and we set that to fill, take the host game button and set that one to fill, it should divide the halves of it or whatever. And we might do that to these up here too, right? So let's just see here. Select map TXT, set that to fill. Select map CMB, set that to fill. Max players TXT, set that to fill. Max players CMB, set that to fill. Match timer, set that to fill. Match timer CMB, set that to fill. Okay. Now we're going to wrap all this in a fucking vertical box. Okay. So let's collapse all these down here, including the text, right? So we're going to take every single bit of this, hold down left shift and select them all, right click, wrap with a vertical box, and then select the vertical box. And now, oh, not the canvas panel, the vertical box. Now we got something like this. Isn't that spectacular? Oh, that's just, I don't see how any man ever, you know, was able to do this. You know, it seems like that you can, I mean, maybe I'm wrong here, but if you wrap this with a scale box, oh, look at that. Yep. So wrap it all with a scale box. And now when you do this, you can get it to do that. See what I'm getting at here? So that makes things significantly easier. Let's center that to the center. And maybe try to, you know, line that up. You can use this over here, but I'm just throwing this shit together. Okay. That's all we're doing here. So let's go back into these other widgets and add that scale box to these fuckers too while we're at it. So select the vertical box, right click, wrap with a scale box. And then if you want to change the size of it, you can just use that. I mean, that's a clunky ass way to do it, I guess, but whatever. I mean, really? Are we really going to be that picky? Probably. I suck at this. Main menu, select the vertical box, wrap with, right click, wrap with a scale box. And then you can select the scale box and do that. Beautiful. Okay, where are we going here? So let me see where we're stuck at. Let's save everything. So what were we doing again? Who am I? What is my name? What are we doing? Multiplayer. Host game. That button don't do nothing. Find games don't do nothing. Back takes us back to the main menu. Quit game, quits game. So we need to get the server settings menu to open. That's what we're after. Okay. And that takes us back to the game instance. Okay. Let me bring chat up, see if you guys are saying anything over there. Hello, everyone. Hello. I'm chugging through it here. Bear with me. Bear with me. Stuff is a pain in the absolute dick. It makes my balls hurt. Okay. So we need to go into the game instance here. And we're going to have to create another series of this shit, right? So why don't we just duplicate that again? Select it all and hit Control W. Because I sure get tired of doing the same damn shit over and over, because this is kind of repetitive here, if you guys haven't noticed. So same as before, we're going to call this Show Server Settings. Okay, we're going to delete this multiplayer ref, and this time we're not going to dick it up. We're going to get rid of all of them. This is going to be the the server settings widget we just created. Promote that to a variable. This is going to be show server settings ref. We're going to plug that up here. We're going to bring that in. We're going to put that here. And then we need to bring it in again. And that's going to go here. And by the way, you could have just as easily plugged that in that way, but since we already created a reference to it, we may as well just do it that way. So compile and save. And now we need to call this from the main menu ref, right? So we hit multiplayer. No. That needs to be called from the multiplayer menu, right? When we hit host game, that's what's supposed to bring up the server settings. So if we go back into our graph in the multiplayer menu, this one is the one, right? Isn't it? I'm already confused. I'm looking at my reference over here so I don't get lost in translation. Yep. So we take our game instance ref here, get it, and we show server settings. That's what we just created in the game instance, like that. And then we remove from parent. Compile that and save it. And that should get us to the next menu, shouldn't it? All right. So if we hit play and we hit multiplayer and we hit host game, we now have a server settings thingamajig here, and we're gonna get into this part now. So this is gonna be stupendous. Not. You know, we could put a quit game button here too. Shouldn't there be a quit game button on every damn one? I don't know. I mean, we could have, should have, would have, but we didn't, right? You guys can feel free to vary from what I'm doing here. I'm not worth a damn at this. Okay? Never claimed to be. All right, server settings. I'm going to darken these buttons up a little bit because that's just, the default is just too damn bright to me. So background color, darken that up a little bit. And these are not going to be exactly the same color. That's going to be annoying, isn't it? Whatever. Take that scale box. Let's make that a little bigger that way. I mean, I suppose we could manually put these colors in, couldn't we? So they're all consistent. 0.5s on all of them. Let's sit in here and dick with the cosmetics for 3 hours. How about that? Just set them all to 0.5. How about that? Now we got to go do all the other buttons. Oh, it's so much fun. 4.2, that's close enough. Ship it. I could have did all of them at the same time. I forgot about that. Let's select all these buttons. And we'll do them all in one shot here. Oh. Yeah, that worked exactly correct. Button, button, button. Okay, now that we got that complete waste of time out of the way, but at least this next part is the cool part that I wanted to show you guys about how we're going to populate those combo buttons. That's going to be kind of nifty. Okay, let me get my reference going over here. So that I can move this along here. Okay. Okay, so before we go into doing this, we need to create a variable in the game instance. Okay, so we're going to open back up the game instance and we're going to let's see here. Yep. We're going to create 3 variables. Okay, now pay attention here. I know all this is boring as shit. I know that, but you do need to pay attention right here because this is nifty. Okay. Okay. So we're going to create a variable over here and we're going to call this map names. And we're going to change this over to be a string. And we're also going to make it be an array. Okay. So we're going to hit this button here and select this checkerboard deal here. And it's going to be an array. Okay. And we're going to duplicate this. And we're going to call this one max players. And we're going to duplicate it yet one more time. And we're going to call this one match times. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to move from here and we're going to jump back into that last widget that we created, which was the server settings. Okay. So what I want to show you guys is how to populate these buttons here. Okay. These combo boxes. See, you can select the combo box like this, and you can go in here and, let's see, where is it? It's in here somewhere. Right here under the content, you can add array elements to it and you can populate it that way. Okay. But we're not going to do it that way, because if we do it that way, every time we decide to change a damn map name or add more maps, change a max player amount, we have to come in here and you're constantly fucking jumping in here trying to edit these stupid combo boxes. So we're going to automate this bitch. Okay. And that's the whole point of those variables that we just created. Okay. So we're going to go into the graph here, and on event construct, we need to get a reference to our game instance. Okay. So we're going to put a sequence here because this is going to be a couple things we're going to do here. So the first thing we're going to do is get game instance like this. Then we're going to cast our custom game instance, which is called GIMP Steam in here. And we're going to do this off of then 0. And then we're going to promote this to a variable. What did I call them other game? I want to be consistent here. So let me go fucking look at something here. What did I call that damn thing? The name of the project. Okay. That's all I needed to know. So we're going to call this GIMP Steam Ref, which is the game instance for the multiplayer Steam project reference. That's I know my naming convention's a little goofy, but just bear with me here. Okay. So then we're going to bring in the reference to this game instance. Remember where we created those variables? Let's pop back over here. See, we created those variables inside the game instance. Okay. And that's why we need another reference to the game instance. Okay. And then from that, we want the map, get map names. Remember that array that we created? And then we're going to do a for each loop right here off of then 1. We're going to do a for each loop, and we're going to plug this into the array. Let me move this out of the way a little bit. And then we're going to get the select map. See, this is why you name this shit, by the way. We're going to get the select map CMB, which is that combo box. We're going to get it, and we are going to do add option. Combo box, add option. And we're going to put that on the loop body. And that's going to come from this array element here. Okay, now we'll get to copy and paste here in a minute, so just bear with me. So right now, we don't have any names in that map array variable that we created. So when I hit play, go to multiplayer, hit host game, and we hit this combo box, see how there's nothing in it? Not a goddamn thing happens. But if you go back into the game instance now, what you can do, and this is why I said this is cool. How many maps are you going to have? Okay. Now it is important that you know the names of your damn maps. Okay. By the way, so you remember we only created one right now, which is called test map underscore 001. So we're going to copy this name here. So we're going to hit Control C to copy that name. Then we're going into the game instance blueprint. And in the map names variable string array that we created, we're going to add an array element here. And we're going to put in that map name, just like that. Compile that and save it. Now check this out. Now when I hit play and go to multiplayer, hit host game. Now when I hit this drop down box, check it out. Test map 1, and you can select it. See that? And now when you want to add more maps to your game, you just simply go into the game instance, select this variable, add another array element with the name of the map in it. Right? So we're going to create another one here. I'm going to paste this in here. And this one's going to be map 002. And now check this out. We'll go back and play. Oh, no, not that. Go back and play. Multiplayer, host game. Now check it out. Now you can pick between the two. So you guys see the point I'm trying to make here. Now all you have to do is put it in the damn game instance. If you want to add a new map, go add an array element to that string array that we created. Paste the name of it in there, and then it automatically will populate this. You could have 100 maps in here, and it would show every single one of them. See that? That is cool, by the way. And we are going to do two maps, right? So let's go ahead and go back into our maps here. Let's open test map 1 and see what we got. Yep. So that's test map 1. So we're going to duplicate this map just so we have 2 maps to choose from, okay? Just as a demonstration purpose. So we're going to duplicate this. And it already put the 002 on it, but make sure you named it that or whatever you choose to name it. That name's important. You have to remember the damn name, okay? So we're going to open map 2. Yes, save selected. And we're going to just change this text here to be 002. Like that. And let's go ahead and build it so it'll give us that little file, whatever the hell that thing is. And hit save all. And now we go back to the main menu. And of course it's not ready yet, right? So if we was to host game, select a map, and then hit host game, it ain't going to do shit because we ain't done yet. I just wanted to show you guys that little trick on how you can populate those combo boxes and simplify the process. So it automates it. You just add, once again, you go back into your game instance here, and all you got to do now to add a new map is add one more element to this array and then put the name of the map in there, and then it'll automatically show up in the combo box. Now we need to do max players and match timers. Okay. So it's exactly the same, which is why I said we're going to get to do some copy and paste here. So it's going to be exactly the same. So we can duplicate this, hit Control W, add a pin to the sequence. The difference is this is going to be the, what is the second button? I didn't forget. It's max players, right? So from the game instance, we want the get max players here. And the combo box is not the select map combo box anymore. It is the max players combo box. So we get it, add that here. And then we can dupe it again. Add another pin. This time around, we want the match times. Plug that in here. And this is not that. This is going to be the match time combo box. See how that works, guys? That's pretty nifty. I thought that was cool as shit. And compile that and save it. And now you can go into your game instance here. And how many players do you want to be selectable? Right? So we can add one player, which is pointless really, but you can. And then you can do 2 players. Then double it again. 4 players. And then 8 players. Right? Something like that. Compile that and save it. And now it's automated. So now when I come in here and do this, host game, now you see I've got how many players I can select from. And then of course you need to do the match timer, right? So back into the game instance. Oh, that's not what I'm trying to do here. Come on, work with me here. Back into the game instance. The match times, what increments do you want the times, right? So you can put 5 minutes. You can put 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or 60 minutes, 1 hour. Now, I check this as I go because I hate hunting bugs. Yep. 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 All right. Let me bring chat up here. Let's see here. Oh God, you guys have been chatting over there. I've been working my balls off here and you guys are just hanging out partying. That ain't fair, guys. Just saying. Hey, John, I have a challenge. Make a AI interacting with a door. Is John Galt an alias because of that novel? That is correct. Yes. Save the color as a swash. Yeah, I thought that there was a way that you could keep a palette of designated color so you don't have to do what I did. That's funny. But yeah, okay, so I struggled with that. That sucked. Got to go back later. Hope you keep this one. I'll keep it, right? This one was funded, by the way, guys. So the only reason this video is being made, and there might be more than one, right? Because I'm not going to sit here all damn day dicking with this. It might take 2 videos or whatever. So someone sent me a contribution of a fairly decent size and wanted me to make this video. So that's why this video is getting made. So anybody that sees this video or watches this video after the fact, if you would like to see more videos like this made, the only way that happens is by people making contributions to my PayPal links, which are below this video, or in the banner of my YouTube page. There's a link that links you to my PayPal. Okay. John said that in a stream some years ago. Yes, that's exactly where this name comes from. Atlas shrugged. Okay. Yeah, you just drag to the top of that color wheel and it stores it. Of course it does. I always go about everything the fucking long way, don't I? Well, of course I do. Because that's how we roll here in the Galt Skulch. Okay. So, we can probably get a couple more buttons done. So if we go into the main menu, into the server settings, we can get the back button, right? That's pretty easy to do. So select the back button on clicked. And really, this is basically just show the multiplayer menu, right? So this is not the main menu anymore. This is back one from this, which is the multiplayer menu. So we go to get our reference to our game instance, and we show multiplayer menu, and then remove from parent, which removes this widget. Basically, if you guys are wondering what that does, that's what that does. And we still got some more stuff to do, but we're getting there slowly but surely. I don't know how far we'll go into this before I stop, but this will take more than one video, mainly because I suck so bad at this UI shit. I spend more time fumbling around trying to figure out why shit didn't work than I do actually scripting stuff in this scenario. But at the end of this, not this video, but maybe the next one, you will have a operational menu that gets you to host a Steam game waiting for other players. Where you create your player and go from there, that'll be your business, right? So you'll build whatever kind of player character you want, okay? So, let me go back to the designer. What's this other button? It's host game. So, yeah, we'll have to go back to the game instance for that, but we can go ahead and put the clicked event in, right? So for the host game button, go ahead and add your on clicked, and there'll be a shitload of stuff to do right here. Let's just see what we got here. So single player, it just dumps us out in single player, which is fine. Multiplayer, it brings this up. Did we get all these working? So this is back, which would be one menu back from here is the main menu. Quit game, quits game. Quit game here, quits game. We checked that one, didn't we? Quits game. Back, back. Host game. Find games is still not going to do anything. Host game. It brings up the server settings. We now have the ability to pick a map. And we can set how many players. And we can pick between these incremental match times. We can hit the back button. It brings us back one. And if we go forward again, it leaves that populated. So we'll have to zero that out. When you hit the back button, I want that to go back to nothing selected. Okay. So we will do that. And then if you hit the host game button, nothing happens yet. That's where you will actually start the session at that point. So let me see how we can clear these out. And I might actually, let me look at my reference here. I know that there was something to do with this hour thing here. Let me see. Okay. All right. So let's go back into the game instance and let's do a little bit of finagling in here. Back into the game instance. Under the max players here, I'm just going to put this to an even 10, right? So the max you can have is 10. I find, guys, just so you know, I'll mention that here. When you're doing a listen server like this, you host it, you're hosting it on your own computer, right? So the more people that are connected, the shittier the experience is going to be. Okay, so just know that. That's not got nothing to do with the scripting of what we're doing here. What that has to do with everything is distance from each other and the power of the computer that's being the host, and also the quality of your internet connection, right? So if you're on some 14 baud modem in Bangladesh, you know, this shit ain't going to run very well. But I find that even on a really good computer and a really good internet connection, when you go above or around about 10 or more, it goes to hell. So you're not creating a 100 versus 100 multiplayer listen server. So you just as well get that shit out of your head. That ain't going to happen. Okay. This is just something that you can do, which you don't have to pay for a server and host and all that stuff, to get you a little prototype multiplayer game going. Capture the flag, shooting each other, run around on a map, exploring, whatever the hell it is you want to do. But just know, you get 10 players. I wouldn't go no more than 5, to be honest with you. But you know, if you're doing PvP, that's kind of unbalanced. You'd have 2, and then 1 extra. So if you're planning on doing PvP, I would do 2 players. That would be 1v1, or 4 players, which would be 2v2. 6 players, which would be 3v3. But I wouldn't go no more than 10, which would be 5v5. And that's probably not going to be very fun, even in that scenario. Okay, let me get me a drink here. Oh, that's good. I like this drink I'm drinking here. This is a Faygo brand rock and rye flavor, which is some kind of a cream soda, but not like root beer cream soda. It's some kind of a strawberry or cherry flavor cream soda. It's pretty good. I will drink the shit out of it. Okay, so what did we just do here? Who am I? What are we doing again? I'm going to go ahead and delete this, and I'm going to start over with that in mind. We're not doing 1 player, right? So it'll either be 2 players or 4 players. And let's just double it up from there. So 8 players or 10. And that's it, right? I mean, you guys can try whatever you want to try, but trust me from experience, I know what I'm talking about here. That ain't going to work worth shit. Especially if you're trying to do a competitive, PvP game. So the map names, we've just got 2, which is fine. And the single player, you would use this same technique for the single player. But I'm not going to add, a bunch of maps. So we're going to put 5. Let's put an M at the end of that. So 5 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute, and let's change this over to 1HR, and we'll compile that and save it. And yeah, so in the game instance here, we're going to create a custom event, and this is probably, once we get close to being to this, we'll quit probably and do another video. But this is going to be host game, right? That's what we'll call this one. And we will compile that and save it. And we're not going to do this yet, but we've still got some other stuff to do. We'll get in preparation of doing this in the next one. Okay. So back in the multiplayer menu here, no, in the server settings, we're going to go ahead and get a reference to that game instance again that we got in here. And we're going to go ahead and get this ready, right? So we're going to say host game. Of course, it dead ends in the game instance. It ain't going to do shit just yet. But we'll go ahead and get ready. And then, of course, it's going to be remove from parent. And now we got to do the thing of these combo boxes, right? So we've got the combo boxes populated, but they don't do anything when you use them. Oh, and also we've got to zero out those values. Let me see. How the hell did I do that? Let me look at my reference here for a second so I don't have to sit around and hum. I'm looking here. How the hell did I do that? I'm stuck. The fuck did I do? I better actually test it over here. Hold on a second. Give me a second here and let me test this on my reference project here. Surely the hell I'm zeroing that out somewhere. Multiplayer, host game. Let's go ahead and populate some of this crap. And then hit back. And then come back. Yeah, I'm fucking zeroing that out somehow. Interesting. Let me go bug hunt, guys. See if I can figure this out. Let's see here. Okay, I think I see what I did here. I see what I did here. We need to go over into the game instance here, and where we're doing the show server settings here, we need to get rid of this, right? We need to get rid of this, and this is going to be a direct rebuild every time for this particular widget. You guys remember why I said that we were doing that whole is valid, it don't need to be rebuilt. In this instance, for this one widget, we're not going to do that. We're going to destroy it and rebuild it every time we call it. That way, it will automatically zero out all those nefarious selections in the combo box. Now, I know there's probably another way to do that, but I'm not going to sit here and, you know, vary much from what my reference is over here because it's a known working version. And if I get in here fucking with stuff on the fly, trying to modify it as we go, this is going to take a week to get done. So now if I hit back and I come back, it rebuilds the widget, which then zeroes out all those values again. Okay, that's what I was aiming to do here. So let's get the combo boxes to, after you select something, it populates it. Okay, so we need to go back into the server settings widget. And we're going to select the map combo box here. And right here, you see these events. You've got on open and on selected. On selection changed. That creates this event right here. That's what we need. And we're going to need this for every one of them. Okay, so that's the map combo box. So we also need the max players combo box, add an event for it. Just bring it over here. And then we also need the match time combo box, add an event for it. Okay. And then we're going to I'm not sure if that's what I did or not, but we'll save that for a test, right? Because I think I disabled those combo boxes. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. We'll talk about that, but those will have to be disabled. All those combo boxes will have to be disabled. Well, maybe except for the map. Because of the order of operations, okay? So there's a purpose for it, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but let's see if we can get this done here. So we need 3 variables in here for now. So we're going to create a variable, and this one is going to be called selected map name. And we're going to change this from a Boolean to be a name variable. Okay, and now we need another variable. You guys will see where this is going in a minute. We need another variable called selected max players. This is going to be an integer. And then we need another variable, which is going to be selected match time. And we will compile all those and save them. Okay, so selected map name, we're going to bring this in here and get a set. And it's going to, when this combo box is changed, we're going to pull this over and it'll do a conversion from a string to a name. See how it creates that little conversion thing here? Then we're going to bring in the max players and we're going to do a set here. And we will do that, and that'll do that conversion of a string to a integer. And then we need to do the selected match time set and do the conversion one more time, like so, and compile that and save it. And we're going to, let me just look over here. Is that what I actually did? Like, there's probably a better way to do that, but let me just see. So that box is enabled. That one's disabled and that one's disabled. Back is enabled and host game is disabled. Okay. So once again, order of operations, and this is important. So let's go into the designer here. So when we come in here, the only 2 things we need to be able to allow the user to do is select a map and hit the back button. You can't allow the user to hit the host game button if he hasn't selected a map already. Now, there's probably a way that you could populate these with the default values. But I'm not going to do that because, once again, if you change any of that crap, you'll have to come in here and reconfigure this. So instead, what we're going to do is say that the only button, when you get to this screen of your menu, the only thing you can do is hit this button and it'll let you pick your map. When you do that, it'll enable this button. And when you select this one, it'll enable this button. And when you select this one, it will enable the host game button. Do you guys see what I'm getting at here? So that way they have no choice but to go in order, so that your logic becomes easier to script so that they can't make errors. Like You know, if you don't pick a map and you hit host game, it's going to throw an error because it didn't have a map to open, right? You guys see what I'm getting at here? Do you see what I'm saying, or do you hear what I'm saying? So we're going to select the select map button combo box, and we're going to set that to be disabled. We're also going to do the same thing for the max players. We're also going to do the same thing for the match timer. And we're also going to do the same thing for the host game button. We're going to set all those disabled, compile it, and save it. And now let's just go. I mean, we haven't enabled them yet, but let's just go see if they can break this. That's the point. You got to try to make stuff unbreakable. Okay, so if we go to multiplayer, we go to host game, all the buttons are disabled. We're going to have to enable that one. But if he hits back and he comes back to host game, that button and that button need to be enabled by default. Okay, so let's go back in here. This one needs to be enabled by default. So just to make sure we don't dick this up, let's go check it again. So multiplayer, host game, and now he can only access these two. And what we need to do is say that when he picks this, it enables this. When he picks this, it enables this. And when he gets all three of these selected, then you allow the host game button to operate. Okay. So back in the server settings, in the graph, when he selects this, we need to enable max players. So get a reference to that combo box. And I think it's just set enabled. Yeah. Set is enabled. So when he does make a selection here, we're going to set that to be enabled. Then we're going to bring in the match time combo box. And we're going to do the same thing. So let's just dupe this. And then we're going to bring in the host game button. And let's do this. Set is enabled. It's the same button, I think, but whatever, just to be safe. Okay. And that will be true. Okay, so now let's go see if all that's functioning the way that we intend for it to. So multiplayer, host game, all those are disabled except those two. If he hits back to host game, when he picks this, it lights this one up. Right? When he picks this, it lights this one up. It picks this, it lights this one up, and then you have those values you need, and then you'll hit the host game button. And currently, it don't do anything because we haven't told it to do anything yet. Okay? All right, let me bring Chad up here. We're getting there. Hang in there. I know this is, I know this is exciting stuff here. You guys love this. I know you do. I fucking hate menus. I'm checking chat. Let me see what you guys are saying over there. My ears has been burning. I know you guys have been talking to me. No, it's this button. It's this button. It's this button. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so I read the Atlas Shrugged stuff. Yep, about the color wheel. And the Asmans want me to do an AI opening a door or whatever. No, I'm not doing that. I very barely got my AI and my template that I sell to work, so I ain't fooling with that, especially if you're wanting it done in behavior trees and all that crap. I don't fool with that stuff. Is it even possible? I don't know. I ain't never used any of that, so I don't know. Yeah, you can at least trigger an event from it, which could trigger your anim. Okay, so Young Jojo, do you still freelance? No, I kind of hung that up. I really don't. I mean, about the best that I could probably do would be if there's something that you want done because you don't know how, the best that I could say would be ask first what it is you're wanting to see done, and then you could maybe do it yourself. Ask first, and if I know how to do it or am willing to make a video showing how to do it, you can make a contribution to my PayPal and I will accept it, right? So it would be like, hey, I need to know how to do this. Will you make a video covering that specific topic? And if it's something that I'm proficient in, I'll say, well, yeah, I could do that. If you'll make a contribution to my PayPal, I will make that video. But verify first, because guys, I don't know how to do every single thing, right? I might have a lot of knowledge, but I don't know every single damn thing. Okay. I'm looking for some menu multiplayer work. Oh my God, that's the part that I loathe the most. From your team template, I just need some little adjustments if possible. Well, that might be something that I can look at, right? Just once again, let me know what it is. Send it to me in an email or something like that. Let me know what it is and I'll get back to you. And if it's something I can do, I'll be like, well, if you'll make a contribution to my effort here via PayPal, I'll make you a video showing you how to make the modification you're wanting or whatever. Okay. Okay. So, ladies, gentlemen, with that, we're going to do a little bit more here, and then we're probably going to have to bounce this out into another video unless I catch a second wind here. So where we're up to, if you guys remember what we just did here, where we're up to is when we hit the host game button, we need it to host the damn game. Okay. And so we already put the logic in here for what is supposed to happen, right? So it goes into the game instance and it calls an event called host game. So if we go back into the game instance in here, this is where we're at right here, getting ready to do the whole joining session thing. Okay. Okay. So we need to, let me close that multiplayer menu. I keep saying that because the summit is open staring at me and it's pissing me off. Okay. So from where we are setting these values, right, in the menu, we need to transfer this information here into the game instance so that it knows which map to open. It knows how many players there need to be allowed on the connection. And, we'll probably do the match timer. It'll need to know that. So when you hit the host game button, that's what we need to transfer all that data into the game instance, right? And so how we're going to do that is this event that we created, which goes into the game instance here, we're going to pass that information in here. Okay. And how we're going to do that, I don't know how we're going to do that. No, I'm just kidding. I know how we're going to do that. Okay. We're going to add some inputs to this event. Okay. And we need 3. So we're going to add a new parameter. And this first one is going to be the map name. Okay. So we're going to call this selected map name. And once again, this needs to be a name variable. And then we're going to add another input. And this is going to be selected. What the fuck was the second in the list? Max players. And this is going to be an integer. And then we need one more, which will be the selected match time. Okay. And now check this out. If we go back into the server settings widget, look at that shit. It's beautiful. And then all we have to do is plug in this variable, get it. That'll be what's populated in the selected map name when you operate the combo box. You guys see how this is going to work? Slick. Slick. Okay, and then we need the selected max players. And then we need the selected match time. And now when we mash that button, it'll be these values, which will take us into the host game, which we will have that data in here available now, which you will be using the create session node. And you see, it needs to know how many connections, right? And the player controller will be get player controller. That'll be that. And you know what? I'm sure we're going to have to clear these values out somewhere. So let's go ahead and promote these to variables, right? So we're going to promote this to a variable, and that will be selected map name. We're going to promote this to a variable, and that will be selected max players. And let's just daisy chain these together like this. And then we're going to promote this one to a variable, and that will be selected. Oh shit, let's spell it wrong. Selected match time. And that'll be an integer like that. And then we can come out of that and do the create session. So it'll go something like that right there. Okay. And the public connections here, that will be the selected max players. So we get that, and that'll go here. So that'll give us how many players we're going to allow on the server. And for now, on the on failure, we're just going to do a print string here. And that will be host session failed. And let's just make that red so we know it's an error. All right, so 1 tab, 0 tab, 0 tab. All that and save it. And then it will be open level. And that will be on success, open level. The level we're going to be opening will be the selected map name. And also, we need to, in the options here, this is going to be a listing server, right? Okay. And then we need to get, well, I mean, we can, I don't know. How anal are you guys about your cords hanging across, right? So we'll do this, and this is going to be set input mode to game only. So when it hosts, we'll set the input mode to game only. And then we're also going to need to set show mouse cursor to false. and we will compile that and save it. And I believe that gets it done, right? I think. You guys ready for this? You ready for this? Let's do a save all here before the shit blows up. So we go single player, Nobody, this server is not searchable. This is not a server. This is just, I put this in here just in case somebody wants to create a single or multiplayer game. They can come in here and, you know, make single player garbage. Now, we don't have a way to, once we get in the game, we don't have a way to bring any kind of a menu up or anything yet. So that's something we'll have to deal with, but it'll be in a number 2 of this video series because there's just too goddamn much, right? Can't cram all that in one video. I'll be here 8 hours. Okay, so we go multiplayer. Find games don't do any damn thing. Back takes you back to the main menu. Quit game quits the game. Host game brings you to this. You can't do anything except go back, or you can select a map, and when you do, it will populate, right? And if you go back after you've done that, I just want it to clear out, right? So you don't have the same one. So we'll do map 1. We'll say 4 players, 15 minutes, and we hit host game, and voila. You'll notice it did load us in on test map 1. Once again, we don't have any in-game menu yet, so once you get in here, you're fucked, right? You can't get out. So that'll be something we'll have to deal with. All right, now let's see and make sure that it opens map 2. So we go to host game. This time around, let's just open map 2. And voila, it's map 2. So we are, at this point, we're searchable, but we don't have the search feature in yet. So that's something that we'll have to, that'll be in the second video, right? So, yeah, but that gets it hosted. At that point, your server will be searchable. But of course, we have got to, you know, put that logic in, right? So that would be, see, where the hell are we at? That would be here, right? So this find games button, we're going to have to do quite a bit of work here so that once a server's hosted, you can find it, right? And then join it from there. And then it would be the in-game menu part. So I mean, we got pretty close here. We got pretty close to done. But let me look at my reference and see how complex that find games thing is. I don't know. Maybe we'll go ahead and cram it through and get it done. But if I remember correctly, that was a fucking nightmare to make. Just so you guys know, that was a disaster. But I will go look just to see if we can cram that in here real quick. Okay, let me see here. Son of a... Show server list. So it'll have to bring up a widget, and then from that widget, it will be the server list, and then we got to create a list row. So it will be that widget. Let me go look at the scripting for that. Oh, good God, Jesus and Mary, Sonny, Jesus of God. That's going to be a disaster. I don't know, maybe not. No, there is 1, 2, 3, 4 functions and 2 macros plus the widget creation itself. So yeah, that's going to have to wait for another video. I just ain't even. I ain't even. I mean, we can get it to, we can prep it, right? So let's prep it. So basically what we're going to be doing is back in the game instance, Why did I open the damn widget? That ain't what I was trying to do. Let me save all this stuff. Well, it'd be a pisser if this blew up right here and lost everything, wouldn't it? It'd take a better donation than what he give for me to rebuild all this bullshit. But essentially, in here, we're going to be we'll be creating another widget, okay? And it will be, we can dupe this one, right? So the multiplayer menu, let's dupe this. Control W. And let's just bring this one over here. And this is going to be called Show Server List. And then we delete this reference here. Delete this reference here and here. Let's compile that and save it, and let's go make the widget real quick. We're not going to finish. We're not going to like literally make it, but we're going to right click, user interface, widget blueprint. This will be BPW underscore server. Yeah, let's put a plus sign in it. Server list. And of course that widget's blank, but we need it so that we can plug it in here, right? So that'll be the server list. Promote this to a variable and call it server list ref. Server list ref. That'll go here. Then we take that we created, get it. That'll be what we're checking the validity of. And this may be another one of them instances where we just recreate it every time so that it depopulates the server list. But for now, let's just roll with this. And that'll be that. And compile that and save it. And we will be calling that from the multiplayer menu when we click the Find Games button. And that's this button here. We'll be getting a reference to the game instance. And we will be calling Show Server List. And dupe that, remove from parent. Same scenario. You guys seeing a pattern develop here? This UI shit is the king of fucking redundancy. Like you do the same goddamn thing 48 different times for every fucking widget you have. Ridiculous. Okay? And we'll just put something in the server list. Just a text, just so we can see it when it comes up. And we will call this server list. And double the size to 48. Feel free to vary from this because this stuff kind of sucks. And we will center that. Pilot and save it, and now that should come up. Of course, it ain't going to have any functionality in it yet, but it should come up. Let's see. Multiplayer, find games. And this will be where we put the search functionality in so that we can find hosted servers. Okay. And you know, the one thing we haven't even checked yet, which we should, is, okay, multiplayer, right? Because obviously that's what we're trying to do here. So let's go in here and in advanced settings, we'll set this to 720 by 512. Uncheck always center windows. And then we go to 2 players. And we go to new editor windows. And as you can see here, They both have a menu. The server host server is on the left, and then this guy's on the right. And if he hits single player, you go in. If he hits single player, you go in. And if we go to multiplayer and host a game, and we pick a map and blah, blah, blah. And then this guy would go here and he would hit find games. And of course, we ain't got any logic to locate this server yet. Okay, so yeah, it seems to work so far. Let me just check something. We're going to have to probably create a player controller in this, because if he gets to here and then this guy hits quit game, it kills both screens, right? So we'll have to probably package this out and do a test just to make sure that we're leaving the game properly. But we can't even do that until we get the damn server search stuff done. So I'm going to go ahead and save everything. So let me bring chat up here, see what you guys had to say. Let's see. Athan John. Hey, John, been watching your stuff the last few days and freaking live your work. I think it's supposed to be love, but that's fine because I can't type for shit either. Can I ask if you have any experience with MP climbing? No. No, I like ladder climbing and that kind of stuff. I've never set any of that stuff up. So no, I haven't done it. Sorry, that's not something that I do. I give them a jetpack. Fuck ladders, right? Give them a jetpack and let them fly. Nobody wants to climb ladders in a game. They'd like to fly though. Okay, so there's that. All right. So I think I'm gonna kill it here. So we will shut all this stuff down. If you guys think I'm kidding, let me show you something. Let me just show you something. Think I'm kidding? You think I'm kidding? Watch this shit. I built this, by the way, but there was a big controversy around this template and I had to pull it off the market. So some people have this and some people don't, and it will never be for sale again because of the controversy that was surrounding it. But here's what I'm talking about. Fuck ladders, right? If you're going to do it right. See this? This was a baller ass template. You can switch between first and third. See that? So yeah, I don't do ladders. We do it this way. Okay. So yeah, that's what we do. We don't do ladders. Oh damn, I just crashed everything. Son of a. Okay, let's bring chat back over here. I just wanted to know, how can I save the selected team? So the next time the player open the game, he will be in the same team without having to select it again. Let me think for a minute. And you said that's in my template? That's helpful because I know how that was built. Somebody I know built that. So let me see how that could be done, right? Because that would take actually a pretty significant modification. Believe it or not, that requires quite a bit of a modification. So let me talk about it for a minute, and you'll see the dilemma that you're up against, okay? So you already know that all my stuff is done for a listen server, okay? And so the information about the game, period, only exists when you host a match. And there are some things that you can make be persistent from map to map to map, okay? Some things can be persistent from switching from one map to another map to another map to another map. When the server, the host, stops hosting, everything that was persistent from map to map to map to map no longer exists because the server's gone. Okay? So if you want to try to save data, obviously the only way that can be achieved is with a save game state. Okay? And then from the same save game state, okay, from the save game state, what'll have to happen is that you would have to set up a way so that it keeps track of the current team, and when the player leaves the game, whether it be the host or the client is irrelevant. You will have to save the team the player was on when he left. And you could do that with a save game state, and it will save it on their computer, not your computer, not the host computer. Okay? So then if you accomplish that part, every time a player loads up and joins a server, there's going to have to exist logic that checks to see from the person connecting. His logic is going to have to check to see what his previous team is in the save player state, in the save player file that you can do that Epic has. Okay. And if there is a team, and there would be, after he connects for the very first time, there would be a team. So it would, when he connects up to the server, after he goes through all the menu settings, right? You know, join game, search games, it finds a server, he connects to that server, then it spawns in. And that's where it asks you, in my projects, that's where it asks you what team you want to be on. So right before that occurs, there'll have to exist logic that goes and checks his save game that's on his computer, see which team he was on. Logic will have to exist to say that if that exists, do not show the join team buttons, and instead auto join him to the team that he was previously on. So it would be complicated, right? I'm not saying that I couldn't do it or you can't do it, but that would be something that would be extremely complicated. It would. Because that would involve widgets. There would have to be widget mod. First, you would have to create the ability to save the team. Okay? That would be number one. And once you get that, then you would have to say, okay, where is that save game state? How do I check if it exists? If it does exist, I need to pull that team information from that. And then once that's validated or whatever it is that the logic would need it to do, then you tell my project, you would say, get the player's controller or whatever it is, check to see if that exists. If it does, don't show the main menu or don't show the join team screen, and instead auto click the button, if you will, to make him spawn out on blue team or red team, whichever team he was on. Okay? So it would be complicated. Maybe I'm overcomplicating it, but I think it would just be complicated. And to be perfectly honest, I have, in all my years of doing this, I have never set up a save player file system that Epic's got in their engine. I've never even set one up. I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to do that or not. I mean, it would probably be a whole lot easier if I started with one of my little simple templates that ain't got all the shooting and killing and, you know, all that stuff. And then I could break it down easier. So there would be less crap to have to try to dig through in order to accomplish that. So I don't know. First, I would have to figure out how to create a save game state, which I don't think it's too complicated, especially if all you're going to be saving is the team the player's on. So that would only be one variable that would be saved, right? Now, if you're trying to save loadouts and goddamn scores and all this shit, I'm sure that would get complicated as shit. But if all it is the name, if all it is the team the player's on, that's just one single thing that you would save. The problem part would be the joining of the player, right? Because let me think for a second. So, I mean, there's a node, I think, I don't remember where it's at. It might be in the game instance. It might be in the player state, but there's a built-in custom event, something to the effect of post log on, right? And so at post log on, no, that's before log on, right? Post in post. No, post is after you logged on. So with that event, post log on, you could check to see if that player save state exists, which it would. After you've done it for the very first time, it would exist. And you would have to resave over top of it every time that the player leaves. Right before he leaves, when he clicks the quit game, right before he does that, it would have to go look at his team and override that save file. And then every time the player joins, it would have to go look at that save file. If it does exist, pull the team off of it, and then skip the pick a team screen, right? And then auto initiate him as if he clicked the join button, right? That's how that would have to work. I don't know. I might mess with it. I don't know. right now I'm ass deep in this, and there'll probably be at least one more video for this. It may not be as long as this video, because all that's really left to do is, you know, get that join server thing going, and probably a player controller with some logic on what to do when the player leaves the game. And then that should be that. So with that, I'm going to end the stream here. I appreciate you guys that tuned in. If you like the content that you see on this YouTube page and you would like to see in the future more, only way that that happens is if a contribution gets sent to my PayPal. When you send the contribution, it gives you the opportunity to put in a message, a short message. You can put in a message, something that you would like to see in a tutorial. That's not how do I build my game, bruh, right? Because I ain't doing those. But if it's, you know, some one-off multiplayer, something that you want to see, that could potentially be covered. Or if you just want to send me $5 for a coffee, you can do that. How much is the contribution? The contribution is whatever you feel like you should send. You guys know how much work goes into this shit, especially if you're wanting to see something that I've never done before, because obviously that means first I have to learn how to do it. And then second, I have to make a video demonstrating what it is that I learned and how I would approach it. So, you know, it's your discretion, but, you know, $2 for an hour video probably ain't going to get it done, right? Okay. The link, look in the description of this video. There's a link there, or you can go get it on my banner on my PayPal. There's some buttons in the banner on the upper right hand side or lower right hand side of the banner. You can get it there. So with that, you guys take care. This is John Gall, and we will see you in another video in another time. Have a good one.